talk show on the go. I'm your host, Sunda. I really don't give you a big intro any time, but today I have a big intro for a gentleman who's been so kind to me, who had put me on stage way before most people did, and who had opened a comedy club in a restaurant and made it a comedy club. And I'd like to introduce Buddy Lewis, who has many more credits than that, of course. Buddy.
Yes, we should.
White famous Buddy Lewis. Go ahead. Go ahead. You do it.
Sunda, you know what? Do I have to bring my resume with me? Should I have my resume with me?
I figure, we're friends, and people always say you don't have to talk business, but I wanted to talk business because I want to hear. Yeah, I want to hear what Buddy Lewis has to say.
Let's talk it. Walk it, talk it. Walk it, talk it. Walk it like I talk it. Walk it like I talk it.
Can you still?
Yeah, I can. No, not
no
with
more.
These knees.
Nope.
We walk it what we talk it with liniment. That's what we do.
You got some Ben Gay? Can we say that?
Yes. Can we? We'll just call it menthol.
It's menthol.
Menthol.
It's a menthol.
A menthol rub.
It's a menthol rub, and you have to be careful because if you don't put it all the way on your knee and you rub your eye later in your sleep, you wake up thinking you're blind.
Or your genitalia could be really awful. Yeah,
which can also happen when you leave the Clorox wipes next to the toilet.
Yes. I had a. You know what?
What?
I had a friend. I got to tell you this story.
Tell me.
She told me the funniest story. She had to get some. She wanted to get some wipes. She just grabbed some off of the. The Walgreens counter or whatever. She just grabbed them, and she goes and doesn't really look at these wipes closely, and she wada! She's at the airport because she said I was rushing and I don't like and she grabbed them and went into the bathroom and yada, just back to front, just yada, and then she said next thing it was like somebody had taken a hot match and ran it up from the tank to the tail. And then she looked at the wipes and they were Clorox bleach wipes. And I laughed, I was screaming. I was like, well, at least you're completely sanitized now. I was like, I don't teach you. You better read.
I have to tell you a terrible story. You're right. You have to read. Can you imagine that happening to an attorney? So a commercial comes on TV, and I say, Mark, look. I said, it's Clorox now in lemon. He says, Clorox? He goes, that's what the hell has been in the bathroom? He says, you make me wipe my ass with Clorox. Why? I said, didn't you feel it? And I'm thinking, where are the wipes going?
I don't know whether it's
it's
the lack. No. I don't know if it's the lackluster. You might want to check those wipes that maybe there wasn't enough Clorox on them, or somebody's got a strong ass.
Oh, he has a big ass and a
hairy ass. That's some strong leathery.
Ass. What about the woman now? She's leathery.
Alligator-esque ass that you can wipe your ass with Clorox wipes, and I feel nothing.
Did he notice?
Hey, I don't know what his ass is made of, but you might want to.
Fur.
Yeah, you might want to take it.
You might want to take it because now
make some pocketbooks or something. Some luggage out of that.
Pocketbook.
Some shoes.
We got to do something with it because it's a real man-made. That's like a man-made leather.
Man-made leather.
Talking about man-made leather, what are we going to do?
Dragon skinned ass. You need to. What kind of reptilic ass tank is
a hairy Jew?
Oh my God!
Can I say that?
You can. I can't.
Why?
That'll get you in trouble.
Now we're in trouble.
Nick Cannon.
What happened? Can you tell me exactly what happened? Because I love Nick.
Poor Nick, man.
What did he say?
Listen, you know what? I love Nick, and I'm gonna tell you something. Nick Cannon. We were talking about my career. Interestingly, when I first started, Kim Whitley and I were very, very fortunate. We started a club out in the Valley back in the early 90s. It was called the Ha Ha Cafe, but we had a night there. It was just a little Mexican restaurant that wasn't open half the time. It was just doing catering, and we went in there, and they did catering and karaoke. That's all they had in there. And so Kim and I went in there, and we started a night, Wednesday nights. It was called Whacked Out Wednesdays. And I'm getting to the story, but
no, I want you to tell them the history because these are comedians who don't know.
And for years, man, this room was like it was the rage. in the early '90s because
The rage.
Yeah, Kim was. And for all you millennials, I know rage might not be the word anymore, but you know what the fuck I mean. Anyway, this is a podcast, right? This isn't going on the Christian channel or nothing.
No, it's not on the Christian channel.
Anyway, so what the fuck I was saying was that we started this room that was the rage, right? Wednesday nights, Kim was on O Drama, and she had another show. She was doing all this stuff, and I was doing warm up with Steve Harvey. I was the regular warm up for Steve Harvey, and so we had a crowd in there every Wednesday, and we always had a lot of celebrities would pop in, and I mean everybody.
Name
from
them.
Eddie Murphy, Damon Wayans, Keenan Wayans, Sinbad, Arsenio Hall, anybody that was doing anything, anybody and everybody. I mean, Farrah Fawcett came.
That's right.
Farrah Fawcett came. Kim did a movie with Farrah Fawcett, and she came down to the club one night. I had the Boys to Men, Brandy, Monique, Jamie Foxx, Chris Tucker, anybody you can name, almost any black person, Santa Claus, the Easter Bunny, everybody came in there. So, but one of the things that gets me back to the story is Nick Cannon used to come, and because I was doing warm up at all that. He was a kid. So we're talking, if Nick is what, 39, 40 now? He was 16, 17 back then in the early 90s. And as a matter of fact, him, Keenan, and Kel, I think, all lived in this big ass house as kids over there in North Hollywood. And I came by one time, I was like, y'all making this much money? You kids are able to stay at home by yourself? Y'all parents let y'all stay up in here by yourself? You nasty ass heathens! Y'all are getting these little all that chicks over here, and I'm too old to come by and enjoy this bullshit. I go to prison coming over here messing with you, but this is the shit. Anyway, but Nick Cannon, I was one of the few people that would put him on stage. He got stage time in my room, and I always gave him stage time. So Nick Cannon,
what did he say?
What did he say? Here's the thing about what he said.
Did he say cheap you bastard?
I don't think that's what he said exactly. I don't think it was
my husband listening that I just called him that?
Okay, see, what I'm not going to do is be attributing to your little... You can be borderline anti whatever you gonna be in your household, because you don't
even know what's going on in that household right now. Okay, we got a lot going on.
I'm sure the N word and Jew whatever are going around your house at the dinner table like it goes back and forth.
Are you kidding? It goes the other way.
Hey, listen, I'm not messing with your house, Sunda. I'm not. You're not gonna get me involved in this. I'm gonna get back to Nick. So, what Nick said can be misconstrued as miscommunicated as anti-Semitic.
But what was it? Because
I think what he was trying to do is relay the information that he's been taught or learned through history books and through people who have a understanding of African American culture. And what he said, part of some of what he said is true, and part of what he said is anti-Semitic. And here's the thing: there are some black Jewish people that I don't know why people want to think that area of the map has black people in it. The whole biblical story is in Egypt. It is in Africa. Please. It is in Africa. I'm sorry. So
there's no way, Jesus.
They're more than just Anglo-Saxon looking Jewish people. There are some Jewish people. There's a whole tribe of Ethiopian Jews. So we have to understand the history of that. And what comes out anti-Semitic is that it's this, the Jews run everything sort of. The Jews did this sort of thing. They do this, they run this, they take this. And that can be misconstrued as anti-Semitic.
Did you know the Jews always say the Goyim run the business?
Hey,
who writes their checks? Think about it.
Hey, like I said, I am turning my back to anything that even remotely sounds like I'm participating in the.
I'm participating.
I'm trying to work, Sunda.
Half
of you can work anywhere.
But buddy, let's talk about that. What about that half shit?
I'm just saying. No,
you
listen.
Know what I mean?
Listen,
I want you to finish your thought. I want you to finish your thought on the
But what I want to say is this. We have distorted history so bad that even when you tell the truth of history, sometimes to people who don't want to understand or want to believe that history, make the excuse that you're being racist, anti-Semitic, homophobic, whatever it is, you are that now because you're relaying true history. And so let's look at some of the let's look at the history of just this country. If I tell a group of white people that, hey, you know what, this country was built on the back of slaves, that to them that's, my grandfather built my grandfather's business and blah blah. You're like, hey dude, wait a second.
I'm trying to say something. Let me get my words out.
Yeah, let me finish. This country has a history of slavery. Slaves weren't just people that were doing stuff. They were a commodity.
Yes, they're reproducing them.
They were reproducing commodity.
They were.
We were property. We weren't people. We were property. And so when you start breaking down the history, and that comes full circle to stuff like, you're disrespecting the flag. No, dude. First of all, let's get to the fact that represents to some people something different. Let's talk about the history. The song, the Star Spangled Banner was written by a dude who wanted to keep black people enslaved. So
but it's knowledge, though. Come on,
it's knowledge, and that's what I'm saying. That knowledge, when you pass that knowledge to people, people get offended when it comes out of when some of the history, like you can't be mad at the person that's giving you the history either, because Louis Farrakhan has said some anti-Semitic things, or what you consider anti-Semitic. Just because he's telling you some history and some truth doesn't mean everything he says is BS.
Absolutely not. He's helped so many black men.
And so yeah.
Period.
So and that's where you got to draw the line. Like, what is anti-Semitic, and then let's look at the repercussions. Now, this cancel culture that we have now is really interesting too, because we have a president that can say whatever. He can say whatever.
And he does.
And he says whatever. He tweets whatever. He says some awful thing. I to this very day, I can't. I mean, he literally said, and I'm not making this up. We all heard it. I can grab a woman in the pussy and ain't nothing gonna happen. He said it. How disrespectful and misogynistic is that? But
he wasn't the president at the time. He's the argument. You're like, but that's the character.
That's the character of this man. That's the kind of person he is. So why didn't you cancel him? He said, how disrespectful is it to say that all Hispanic people who walking over here from the border trying to just make it better for themselves, they're all rapists. He said they're all rapists and murderers and criminals. I'm like, all of them? Some of them is kids.
Right.
We got kids in cages right now. How awful you got to be. Seriously, think about that. How awful you got to be.
And guess what else I learned, buddy? I learned something from the Mexicans. I don't know Mexicans. I'm from Jersey. We got Puerto Ricans.
Yeah, that's another. Yeah,
it is. And it's different because they're telling me it's good for them to get caught because then they're in the system.
Wow.
Because
that's crazy.
Yeah. So once they get caught, they're in our system, and we take care of them, and then we, work it out. But we take care of them. We provide them health. they have to get caught. It's horrible, buddy. When we say we hate America, I think we got to go somewhere else, like where they're running from, because we can't run there.
Yeah, bro.
Where are we gonna go? Let's go back to Africa.
I'm not going back to Africa. No, I'm good. No, I'm good on that. I'm good on that. That's another one. People want to say go back to Africa. Why? Have you been to Africa? Hey, first of all,
I have a very strong connection with my family.
First of all, it's 22 hours. I ain't trying to go nowhere for 22 hours on no damn plane by myself. I'm sorry, especially coach.
No, we wouldn't do that.
We got to go first class if I'm gonna be on something 22 hours. I don't want to be in my house 22 hours. I don't want to be around one person for 22 hours. I don't care if it's Halle Berry butt naked in oil. After 22 hours, you need to go in the kitchen or something, Halle. I'm sorry, I can't.
Please, she'll be filing divorce papers after the first week. She gets divorced more than Zsa Zsa Gabor.
Listen,
love it.
Hey,
she's the Black Zsa Zsa.
So that ought to tell you ladies something. That's a key sign for ladies. Check this out. If Halle Berry, one of the prettiest women in the world, can't really hold on to her husband, what do you mediocre ass women think is gonna happen to you? It's gonna be kind of difficult. Y'all got to do a little extra. Because beauty alone ain't gonna make it. That's why I say you better learn how to cook. You better learn how to do something.
Ain't the beauty is the booty, right?
Yeah, it's something. I tell you what, hey, listen, booty's gonna get. That's what I'm saying, Sunda. The booty's gonna get old.
Really?
Yeah, booty gets old.
Oh,
Think about this, Halle Berry. Think about this. Halle Berry is one of the prettiest women in the world. She has trouble keeping. So
think she does it in a turtleneck sweater?
I don't know what she does. She's had a little trouble. So all I'm saying is the booty is going to get a little bit old because it's still Halle Berry.
It's Halle Berry.
It's Halle Berry. I mean,
how could you not want
how
to be
could
married?
you not want to come in
right.
and be like, you know what? It's time.
It's time.
Every time you walk in the room, it's time. But something else is going on. So I tell ladies, listen. If you want to, you need to be able to do a few other things. Like I say, cooking is one thing. Learn how to cook, because I'm gonna tell you something. You can go 2 or 3 months without sex.
Yes, you can, but you
can go about 8 days without eating. So what you think is more important? Pot roast, not your pussy. That's all I'm just saying.
And what's the plural?
Pot roasters.
No. That'll be the next cookbook. Besides
Sunda,
pot roasters.
Even you, Sunda, you wrote a cookbook. Shit.
I better cook.
Thank you.
See the size of my husband?
Thank you.
Yes.
Shit. Sunda, no. You better cook in 2 places. You better cook in that bedroom and cook in the kitchen. Clang some pots.
Clang them, just clang them, and that's.
Hey, and some of these women out here, I'm anemic, and hey, well, you need to get your ass in that kitchen, lick a skillet or something, get your iron up,
get it going, buddy.
What
happened to real women?
Hey,
Can I tell you something?
They're a lost breed.
They're a lost breed, going on stage looking like that, hoodies over their faces, can't see them. Everything is. How much can you hate men? Let's talk about female comedians and Buddy Lewis real quick, because Buddy just didn't put on anybody. You had to be funny. True story.
You had to be funny, and if you weren't, you got it. You got it. I still got people come up to me and tell me, I remember the first time I went up at the ha, you gave me the blues after I got off stage. I said, because you were probably terrible. You were good, hot, and terrible. Like most comics. That's not
unusual.
It's not unusual. That's a commonality. That's a real thing. Most comics are terrible. When they get on stage the first couple of times, you're terrible. You're not the same person. First of all, I can guarantee you, Chris Rock was terrible. He probably wasn't awful bad.
He was awful bad.
But he did some awful bad shit when he was a young comic. Eddie Murphy was okay. You grow into your comedy, into your comedy thing.
You do.
So yeah, and females, sometimes it takes them a second to grow into who they are, who they're going to be on stage. There's some that have it a little bit more than others, but
Kim, a natural, and we'll always tell you she's not a stand-up.
Yeah, but she's a natural. But
she's a natural.
She's a natural. She's just funny.
We love Kim Whitley. I played a terrible practical joke on her a long time ago. Do you remember when she found a bird?
Let me hear this story.
Okay.
Tell the story.
She found a bird, and the bird's wing was broken. She didn't know what to do with this bird.
Did she cook them?
No.
Oh, okay.
Kim did not cook the bird. But she couldn't talk to me because this bird was ridiculous because I was getting a spot with you or something. So
right.
I called back and I left a message and I made believe I was calling from the Bird Association. They were coming to arrest her. And like she didn't know it was me. And she was like, wait a minute, I just got this bird. This bird was hurt. And she was going on and on. I was like, Kim, I go, it's Sunda. She's like, hold on, I got somebody else because I had this bird I told you about. And I was like, it's me. And she was like, Sunda.
That's too funny.
Because I wasn't Maria Santiago right then. You know, sometimes I have to put a Puerto Rican thing on just to get through the Bronx. The Bronx. What do you see for comedy now?
Oh my gosh. You can do all of those.
Hey,
I just noticed that.
Because I'm friggin' Italian from Jersey. What do you think?
Oh my God, you got all of those voices in there. That's scary.
You know what they are? All the people who raised me.
But you know what, Sunda? That's kind of erotic though. You could be like 6 or 7 different women.
Yes. I cannot be my wife to my husband. I have to be somebody else.
Shit, that's kind of
I'll turn into a Persian.
Ooh,
I'll let that hair grow on my friggin' chin, and I'm like, listen to me. Wait. I want to come with you. Come to me.
Right now, I'm turned on right now, Sunda.
Do you see this?
Oh, shit. 5 or 6 women in there. That's how you. All you got to do is bring a pot roasters up into the bedroom, and it's on and popping. All them women, shoot. Sunda, you could be a Jewish girl. It's Jewish Girl Fridays. It's
they don't know
Persian
what Friday
Lady
is.
Saturday. It's Puerto
Jewish
Rican Mommy Mondays. Ooh, boy, you can. Ooh.
Puerto Rican Mamita.
Ooh, it's Mamita Monday.
And you want me to speak a Korean? I say Anita.
Oh, shit.
Oh,
kimchi in that ass. That's what I'm talking about.
Chinese.
It's going down. It's going down, Sunda.
And at the end of the day, I'm a girl from Patterson, and nobody believes it.
No, I'll pat that Addison, all right. You gone.
So that's crazy. You're absolutely right. But now let's talk about the state of comedy today. What do you think is going on for us in the state of comedy, Buddy Lewis? What can we say, not say?
Yeah, the state of comedy is Alabama right now. It's the worst. Now you want to talk about states? Damn. Now there's really not much going on, unfortunately, and
how's the Zoom working for you, darling?
Man, you know what? I can't do comedy.
No, like
Zoom
that.
like that. You know what? I'd rather just try to do things like this where I can keep the energy of the of my set or
your career.
career and do some stuff online and try to be creative. But I can't do stand up on a Zoom call.
I just can't. And not that I can't, but why would I want to?
I don't want to. I don't really like that genre of that state of comedy. Comedy's in a bad spot right now, just like I think live theater, like Broadway, like
Vegas
shows, Vegas. I think it's unless you're in a place where hell we don't give a damn about nothing right now. I wanna see some girls now. I wanna see some comedies. Unless you're in some place like that, man.
Yeah, I said, bless his heart, little Buddy Lewis. No, he's ashamed of himself. I told him 11 times I ain't studying him when he act like that. Now I'm Miss Brown. That's Sunderland's grandmama. And Sunderland ain't coming to play now. Here.
Now him. You just some sweet tea now him. Listen, comedy's in a tough spot, man.
Comedy and comedy in color. Let's just bring up really quickly. I had a book signing for Mel Watkins, the author of The Real Side,
right?
Which is the depiction of
it's
the history of comedy.
I have a quote in that book.
I know. Well, thank you. I would like to bring that up. He has a quote in this book.
I've been quoted in a few books.
But I hadn't known Buddy at that time when I had met Mel Watkins, and so we had done this with a show called Sisters Doing Comedy.
Right.
Mm-hmm. And now I got involved in Black Lives Matter on the first show, which was produced by Agunda. Okay. No relation to me, by the way, African, Okaye.
Okay.
And my husband had said to me, this could turn out to be something political. Mm-hmm. Your act, you be careful with your act. Mm-hmm. And I did it. That's Agunda up here somewhere.
Agunda.
Yeah,
I've seen her before.
Yes, that's Agunda.
Okay.
And now comedy has changed, and now you can't say things. And
we always had a license to do what we wanted.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the problems now with the comedians, like the underage stuff, this is stupidity. You making that money,
Mm-hmm.
you got to deal with kids. Like, I got kids, buddy.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
and I've told male comedians sometimes that, and one in particular, you got a lot of kids watching you.
Mm-hmm.
His whole thing is, well, they're marking off that they're 18,
Mm-hmm.
but you don't communicate with them.
Right.
Once you
Right.
find out the age.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they came in and took his picture down, these
Mm.
kids that are working here.
Right.
I couldn't believe it. Like, it
Right.
really affects them like that.
Yeah.
Everybody's hypersensitive.
That's one thing I think comedy. I had this discussion a while ago about the hypersensitivity of comedy. We can't reach a point where comedy is no longer funny.
Thank you.
Nothing is no longer funny. If self-deprecating or poking out truths or making fun of the real becomes a thing, what you end up doing is you're no longer going to tell the emperor he's wearing no clothes. You reach that point where we're afraid to say anything, and then nothing is comedic. And so people are like, well, don't do this. Well, listen, at the heart of all comedy, somebody
Somewhere is doing it.
somewhere, somehow, at the bottom core baseline, this is a common fraction. Somebody's getting talked about, or somebody's the brunt of a joke.
Right now.
I don't care whether it's an animal, a institution, a gay person, a black person, a white. Now, some things are offensive. A woman, but yes, at the brunt of it, somebody's getting. You're poking the bear. And we gotta understand that if we reach a point in comedy where, because our sensitivity is so great, we can't make fun of it, comedy will cease to exist.
And we can't have that.
And we
because
can't have
people
that.
want to laugh and they want to have sex and they want pop.
Yeah, because that's what I said. Exactly.
Really.
Exactly. And because even if you laugh at, hey man, you if you look at it, I mean, like you say, oh well, I say we get to the, like, you look at the Three Stooges. Women don't like. There are a lot of women that just thought the Three Stooges were stupid, and I get it, because at the brunt of it, people are getting abused. They used to abuse each other. It was
Slapstick.
white man abuse.
Yes, it was white on white abuse.
It was white on white man abuse. Now, if all the white men came up and said, "Hey, we're offended by the Three Stooges whipping the shit out of each other, and we don't like this, and we want it stopped," where are we getting? Where are we going?
Nowhere.
Well, I mean, if you look at any, like I said, any type of comedy, Snaps was one of the huge
Oh my
things.
God.
Mama jokes was one of the. I don't know your mama. We just joking.
Right.
I don't know you. If I happen to say something and I say, I don't want to fat shame you, but your fat is a damn shame. I don't know your mama. I didn't know she was fat. I didn't know you came from a fat household. I didn't know that. So if I do that at a comedy show, you just gotta understand it's not you personally. You gotta separate yourself from the bullshit I say.
From the seriousness of this.
Yeah.
So let's stop being so serious. Let's get to the next thing. I have to have a show. I'm going to have to do it outside because comics are really in bad shape,
Yeah, man.
Tell them about, help out a comic, Patreon, tell them.
Yeah, man, listen, if you're gonna support, there are a few groups out here now supporting comedy. There's one group, Comics America or something, that was collecting money for comics who need it, and if you're in the guild, you can call, and there's the fund that helps the Actors Guild fund, and so the Writers Guild has a fund. You can go there.
I didn't know about that.
The Writers Guild, the Actors, SAG and AFTRA all have funds that you can apply to for aid and assistance if you're a member of the guilds. But go and find out. And and Sunda, what I'll do is, somebody sent me the application for the and I think everyone could get, if you're a comic, you could get up to $500.
That would be nice.
Yeah, for you can apply until the fund ran out, and because one of the groups did a big there were a group of comics that did a big
Fundraiser.
sort of, We Are the World Live Aid thing for comics, and so you can get like $500. I'll send you the information. You can
That
put
would
it on
be
the
good,
website.
and we'll also put it on the website. And you guys know that when you want to see this on the website, you go to Talk Show on the Go. And I have to tell you something, buddy. I want to have you back again.
Oh, I'm coming back. You gonna have some pot roast, and you got a little green. You got a little green room over there.
I got my little green room. It changed. How many?
Some bleach.
It's crazy. But you know what? It bothers people. They're like, put that away. I said to you, does it smell like bleach? You're like, that's okay. I smell bleach.
Listen, you go to the hospital, it smells like bleach. That means it's clean.
Okay.
I think it'd be a little bit better if you came in here and it smelled like monkey ass.
We're not going back to have that waxing situation. With the Clorox.
I wasn't,
I am so excited to see Billy Reback come back. Yes, that's right. I'm excited to see Billy Reback come back. He pulled his hamstring and he couldn't be here today, but I want you guys to meet. Yes, and then I pulled mine.
What are you doing pulling hamstrings right now? You ain't supposed to be doing shit.
He was jogging and I was walking.
Okay.
And I tripped in front of everybody. And
it wasn't because some homeless lady was about to throw them hands at you.
That other lady, I was standing there like an idiot. It's like I was waiting for it. That's a whole other story. But there's so much more in comedy, and I can't wait for Buddy Lewis to host the next show. All right? This talk show is on the go. I'm on the go. Find me on Sunda Live, buddy.
I'm Buddy Lewis. You can find me at Buddy Lewis Jokes on Facebook and Instagram. Please look me up. I got some stuff out there, and I have a movie coming out, 2 Minutes of Fame, which is on, and The Outlaw Johnny Black, which will be out soon.
And thanks for watching Talk Show on the Go. See you next time.